Hi, everyone. Welcome to another fun episode of In the Kitchen with KK. If you've been watching me, you know that I'm an integrative and functional type of health coach. So we get to the root cause of disease. I look at food as information to the body and how it provides that really healing information to our cells, to our DNA. In my cookbook, Simple Cooking for Vitality, I've explored that all through the meridians of the body and the different organs. And the star of the show today is going to be grapefruit. It is National Grapefruit Month. We're going to be making a salad using citrus, getting in some of that fresh, high vitamin C deliciousness. We never had grapefruit in when I was growing up, except for you cut it in half, you share it with a brother, and you use a special spoon to skip it out. That's the English way. But I'm going to show you how to take the pith off, how to make it just delicious with some different bitter greens in my cookbook. And this will be in the, I think it's in the, let's see, bladder section. Hold on. We are in kidney bladder season right now, and you want those antioxidants. It's in the lymphatic bladder section, correct? So here it is a arugula, grapefruit, avocado salad. Fantastic, as the grapefruit, very sweet, mixes really nicely with the bitter greens. And we know those bitter greens are super healing to our liver, our lymph, and helping to keep that bile nice and strong to relieve the flow of the lymph and get those toxins out of our body. And another great example is here in the gallbladder section. Again, gallbladder is where we hold the bile. Bile is necessary to break down those fats, and a sluggish liver is not producing enough. Thereby, it can produce more gallstones and other things like that. So this is a Frisée salad here with hazelnut. So we're going to be putting together something new and fun just from whatever I had. We're going to be using raw pistachios, a great complement to this. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to take the skins off these and get them prepped. We are, Frisée is, it's in season right now. I can get it at my local farmer's market. This is considered to be a bitter green, but when you mix it with a delicious dressing and some of the citrus, you're going to warm it up a bit. And this is Escarole, which I'm going to take some of the outer leaves and add to my, for the love of leeks, white bean soup. I have some that I put in the freezer, and I'm going to thaw that out and have it for dinner. But the inner ones are a little more tender. They are considered bitter. Cut those up small, add those in. A nice complement to these bitter greens is a little organic romaine, which is a common. So we want to vary these greens that you're used to getting in a salad. I had no variation growing up. It was pretty much just red leaf or one I don't even buy anymore, just the regular iceberg lettuce. So we're going to add some asparagus tips here. Asparagus, fantastic as an inulin fiber. Many reasons to love asparagus. Your liver loves it too. So we'll get some of that in there. And a delicious use, I had some fennel. Fennel is slightly sweet. Adding a little bit of fennel to this will be brilliant. So let's get a little board here. I do have a very thick, high-end wood cutting board, which I prefer for my knife. I keep it treated and cleaned. It's fantastic, but I don't get it overly wet, especially with juicy citrus. So you need to start with a sharp, thin knife. Make sure that you have a gorgeous chef knife, a gorgeous Sentoku knife here. And you're probably going to want a good sharp, but any sharp knives are very helpful. Nothing slips. Everything works well. So you feel really good. So we want to see how thick the skin is. This one's not too bad here. This is a pink grapefruit. And I like the pink. It's going to have a little bit more antioxidants, anthocyanins. As you know, color is antioxidants. So I'm just going to take off both ends. This looks good here. We want to see what we're dealing with, and we also want a nice flat surface to set it on while we are cutting. So what we're going to want to do is just cut around, and now you can already see what we're dealing with. So we're just cutting all of this off, and then we can trim it. That way we're not cutting off too much of the fruit, but we are clearing off the pith, so then we can slice it into beautiful slices. And I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do it the cross way because we want it to look different than just sectionals. That's really not as interesting as slices through the whole grapefruit. So let's get this off here. Let's get this off here. It's best to use a nice big knife. You have better cutting service. So you might want to turn it upside down like this, and then you can address this part. So this is looking pretty good, right? It's got a little right there. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're at home. So beautiful. We got our little prep bowls. If you don't have prep bowls, order some. Stainless steel prep bowls are so, so helpful. So what I'm going to do is just see how beautiful this cuts now. Nice and slim. So you're just gripping it with your fingertips here. And a nice sharp knife will glide right through. And if this feels a little too awkward to cut it in half or use it as a little snack for yourself. When you cut it in half, now you have another flat surface to sit it down on, and you can save part of this. We'll eat the rest as a snack. So a half like this will be great, or if you want to decorate the top of the salad with a hole, it looks very dramatic. Just we'll take out the seeds. Shouldn't be too many. You can pop out the seeds nice and easily. Look how gorgeous these are. Okay, so we're just gonna cut this one down a little bit too. Now we have 2 halves. I'm gonna be inclined to keep these as a whole for now. Put the ends over there. Let's just drain out some of this juice here. Now we'll go to the orange. Oranges are, we're in Florida, so Florida oranges are in season, of course, and always. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Not every orange is geared the same. These are organic navels. This is what we're dealing with, right? We want to see, we want a flat surface to set it on. So again, we're going to cut around. And a nice sharp knife will have you doing this in no time. And then we'll get this part right here. So fantastic. We've got that all done. We'll have a bigger paper towel here. So now we're going to, let's just get the bottom evened off here, that into that container. So let's do the same thing with this. Cut it into nice thin slices. So on a salad, you can kind of alternate them and design the top, or in a bowl, you could put one of each. You can use your fun creativity. All right. So let's get these in here. You see now we have some navel oranges and grapefruit. Those are all ready to go on a salad. Now, grapefruit, it's known to help to regulate your hunger, meaning dysregulate it from a standpoint of dietary concerns, controlling hunger. If you are nourished and you're not dieting, you're not counting calories, and you're eating good food, and you're working on nutrients, that's what I work with my clients on, you're not going to have hunger all day long because your body's going to be nurtured. But grapefruit, just the smell of it is so appealing. It is fresh, it's energizing. And I actually, two of my favorite things to diffuse, and I use essential oils, no chemicals, is grapefruit or orange and clove. So I have that going now. It's delightful in the kitchen. You can even put a drop into your water pitcher. Fantastic. and go from there. So now we have the oranges laid out. Let's get our prep bowl here for the salad. I'm going to start with the base of this is just an organic romaine. So we're going to cut off the bottom here. And I just do this nice and easy. And I just cut it into small pieces like this. You can tear it if you want, but this way you can just get it to the size that you want without having big leaves. And if you prefer, if the stalk is big, just cut it through the center after you're done. Okay, so now we've got some romaine in the bottom. Now, I often prep my salads and put them into a dish covered with a little paper towel on top. It lasts a whole week, and that way you have a prep salad all the time. Obviously, if you're making this for a group, you don't need to do that. But so we're going to take off these outside. Actually, I'm going to cut. I'm going to use this whole escarole later, so let me just cut the bottom off. I like to put it into a bowl of water. Keeps it really fresh like a plant, which is great. So let's take off the outside. We're not going to use those. We'll use some of the inside ones here. Again, let's just lay them on the board and keep the water off this. After I sterilize my board, I have board oil that you put on and it protects the board, but I don't like to get too much water on it. So again, I'm gonna cut this up. Just so I can distribute it throughout the salad. So now we've got some of the escarole in there, which is different bitter than our Frisée. Again, I have some of the Frisée over here. Let me get my wet board back. Because it looks so gorgeous in a bowl, doesn't it? It lasts really long. It doesn't get all juicy. Pull some off here. So that's plenty for what we're doing. We'll just trim off these bottom parts. If you're doing some juicing, you could just, or making a smoothie, you could just add this to your smoothie, or you can just toss it, up to you. I'm just going to cut through this. Now the top part you can just rip. Looks more natural that way. When you use a knife, you're able to control the size. And some people prefer their salads chopped a bit. It helps with chewing. It's you're more apt to chew a salad that's easier to chew. I remember when the first salads came out of the kale salads, they got really popular. However, not all restaurants were good at massaging the kale. So it was murder trying to eat a kale salad. So when I started doing my green smoothies, it was genius, I thought, to blend up the kale because it made it so much easier. This is the bulb of fennel, which I use in chicken dishes. It's going to be slightly sweet. So I'm going to cut it similar to I would a sweet onion. I just want some slices. You could use a mandolin. I prefer to have some slices for appearance in this. I might just do it all since I don't have that much left, and that way I'll get it out of the refrigerator. Getting down to the, okay. Okay. So very thin slices on a mandolin would be nice. You could add a very slim cut salad turnip to this as well. Our farmer's market has the most tender salad turnips. Just peel them, use your mandolin, very slender. You could add a watermelon radish to this, very tender as well. So looking fantastic. Let me get a few of the asparagus tips. We infrequently get raw asparagus to eat, and it's kind of nice. So let's get some here and crack the tops off. Now, what we're gonna do, that way everyone will have like a big piece, but let's get the bottoms trimmed here. So, whoopsie, even when I'm cooking asparagus, hi, I'm going to use part of the stock because the tips obviously are great to add to different dishes. You don't want a huge long piece unless you're pairing it with a piece of fish on your plate. But the stock is really tender. You can have lots of nutrients. So you can go ahead and put some stock in there. Now you've got a little bit of interest going on. All right, next up are pistachios. These are raw pistachios, not roasted, not salted, no artificial flavors or anything else. Give them a little rough chop. I have them just in a bag here. Easy way to do it. If you have a mortar, you can use that as well. This is a pretty easy way. Get them rough chopped up a bit. We can even add some to the dressing. Okay, so we've got some delightful texture going on in this salad. Fantastic, which is going to then house the citrus. So before we make the salad, let's go ahead and get some of the citrus on. Actually, let me break. I'm going to get a nicer salad bowl to show you a better presentation. This is more of a prep bowl. So let me come back with a presentation bowl that you might put on your table. Okay, so a wider salad bowl. This one I chose. Should make the presentation very nice. So let's get it in here. Let's flip it around so we have a few of the asparagus tops out. So of course you can add more asparagus tops. Look how gorgeous that is. Now you have a nice big presentation where you can now display your grapefruit. So let's get 4 in. You can save the rest. So now what we'll do is we'll kind of overlap a tiny bit with the orange. Create a really pretty picture here. Food is visual as well. So doesn't that look already spectacular? Now, what I will do is I'm going to add a little bit of nuts to this dressing. So this dressing is really simple. Dressing, you're going to have some acid, you're going to have some oil, you're going to have something savory, possibly I'm using an organic Dijon in this. And I'm going to put in some spices. I don't have any fresh thyme right now, but the herbes de Provence is a really good mixture. Thyme, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of sage is in here, some rosemary. So this is perfect for this dressing option. So let's get the juice done of the lemon. I do love fresh lemon in this. You could choose to make it orange as well, meaning use some squeezed orange and some lemon. Since we have orange and grapefruit on there, I'm just going to use the lemon in here. Orange is going to naturally make it more sweet. Okay, we've got the lemon going here. A good amount. So that's a couple teaspoons at least of your Dijon mustard. I'm going to put a small handful. So this might be about a couple tablespoons or 1 tablespoon of the raw pistachios. If you want to put some more on top, but they're mixed into the salad, so you have a nice little bit of a crunch. Now, if you are prepping this ahead of time and you don't want your nuts to get stale, you don't put the nuts on right away. But we're making this as if we were serving it. And so we're going to need a good amount of dry spice. So it's probably a teaspoon of the herbes de Provence. And then this is, I do prefer this olive oil. Get this one or first cold press California olive branch. especially when they're on sale, you can stock up. So you can make it about almost 2 for 1, a little less if you want it brighter. So that's a good estimate right there. That way you're not measuring. When I don't like to make my dressings that way. And I always make a little extra so there's something in a jar in the refrigerator so I have something available if I just decide to whip up a quick salad. So let's get the top on right here. And I'm just using a little blender. You might have a small blender attachment to something. We're just putting this on. So seriously, in no time, you have a nice, creamy, delicious dressing. Now what you want to do is give it a little taste. So if you want to tone it down a little, I actually feel like I need a little more acid in this. You could put a pinch of maple syrup in this a little bit, just to tone down the acid, but because we have the citrus in here, you're not going to need it. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of water. I want it to be a little bit thinner. Then I'm just going to blend it up a little bit more. This way it will go over the greens easily. So you see me with my little jars. You should always have little jars on hand, the little canning jars, the little jelly jars, save your jars if you get something that's in a jar that's worth saving. So now you have this gorgeous dressing and the nuts are broken down. So you have more nuts in here. That's more good fats. That's more protein. That's a little bit of interesting flavor. So let's just give this a little dressing twirl and we will dress it up. So you would dress it just as you were serving it. So obviously I'm going to eat this now. A little cracked pepper over this, and you've got a beautiful citrus salad to enjoy National Grapefruit Month and get the benefits of the vitamin C. And actually, grapefruits are made for the liver. So they do very well for the liver. I don't believe in statin drugs. So a lot of people on statin said they can't have grapefruit. Um, anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. So grapefruits are fantastic for you. And little pop up here. I hope that you have enjoyed this with me today in my kitchen and exploring a great way to enjoy some citrus in a salad, how to take the peel off. So give me a nice thumbs up if you enjoyed being here and we'll take it from there. Bye guys.